Greetings and salutations, ledgelords, ladies, and gender fluid friends of any persuasion. Welcome to Gamersledge. I am one of your hosts, Mark. Joining me tonight alongside me is, of course, Matt. Hi, Matt.
I think you're muted.
Yeah, I do that because I don't trust myself to actually be quiet during the quiet time.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, hi, everybody. Hello. How's it going?
And then also joining us is, of course, Dave. Hi, Dave.
Hi, how you doing? How's it going?
Oh, that's not... Dave, you can't stop talking. Otherwise, your nameplate doesn't stay on you.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize. I thought it was like already there and going. I wasn't watching the other thing. How is everybody doing tonight?
Yeah.
Is everybody okay?
And also joining us is Keegan. Hi, Keegan.
All right.
Hi. Yeah. It's been a while. Yeah. I'm not dead.
And last but not least, our current resident grumpy reviewer, it's Yakamoto Joe.
Hi, everybody. I don't know. Felt like a Dr. Nick moment. I don't know. Hey, how's it going?
Oh, I thought you were doing Harry Carey.
No.
Hi, everybody. I'm not drunk enough.
We have
I'll
a
get there,
ton.
though.
We have a
I'll get
ton of things to talk about tonight. But before we get into that, need to do a little housekeeping. First, I want to thank the new followers on Twitter. We're approaching 1,400, which is nuts. At Gamersledge, if you don't want to follow us there for up-to-date scheduling. Also want to thank the new followers on Twitch, closing in on that 1,200 mark. And then giant shout-outs to Fitchinator, Wolfsgun, The Fancy Francis, Hollow Banner, Kokiheshiken Media, Awesome Gen, Teal X Soul, Ninja Jinja 7, Tickets Please, AK Yuri, DBZ Yanni, USMG Valorfall for the raids this week. Mega shout-outs to Drogadan, The Fancy Francis, Shank the Noob, AK Yuri, Kokeshiken Media, Mr. J Nice for the subs, and Kamehameha shout-out to The Lost Harlequin, Nico Knows Tech, Ninja Jinja 07, Jimmy Julius, and Packpaw for the giant biddy contributions. Also need to thank our bossest of boss producers, Shank the Noob, Mr. J Nice, and Neo Sapien. Why do we thank them at the top and bottom of every show? Because they're subbed to us through mechanics.gg, which the link just went up in the
my
chat.
Socials and other cool
I gotta
stuff
wait for
can
the
be
TTS
found at
to stop talking.
https://www.mechanics.gg/gamersledge. Follow me for free.
Mechanics.gg is a site where you can directly support the stream. It's a service that pays creators like us 100% of the donations or subs you send our way. Completely free to sign up, and every person who follows on Mechanics via the link in the chat automatically gets 5,000 Stardust to affect our gameplay, which everybody uses all the time. I added a counter spell on Monday, and that was high hilarity. Watching chat counter spell each other's stuff. It was like... They didn't let me play anything for an hour and 45 minutes. They were just counterspelling stuff. It was pretty funny. Please, also, we're very appreciative when you guys do send bits, subs, and Stardust our way. Helps keep us doing what we do. Third, we've partnered with and are sponsored by Z League, which is a service in which you can play in Warzone, Apex, or Halo tournaments with actual cash prizes and fun community challenges. Link is in the chat. !Z League if you want to put it up at any time. Not only can you win cash prizes, but if you play just 5 tournaments a month, you're entered into a drawing for a PS5 just for playing the games you're already playing. So that's Z League. Fourth, we have new merch in the merch store.
https://
at the link that the TTS is now reading.
/gamersledge.
We have embroidered baseball caps. We've got beanies, which are actually flying off the shelf. And then we also have a brand new shirt with some artwork that we commissioned like 6 months ago that just got done for the Emancipation of Dragons campaign. It's a badass shirt, so you should definitely go check it out. But that's up there as well. And very soon, after how many years, Matt? Probably
2.5.
2.5, 3 years. The Start the Cat Fortnite shirt will be up there by the end of this week. I guarantee it.
Start the Cat.
Yep. So that'll be up there as well. And then last but not least, we have also joined Streamers for Kids. It is a streamer group promoting Extra Life, which, if you're not aware, is a charity to buy sick kids in hospitals gaming equipment to make the things they're in for not quite as unbearable. If you'd like to donate and brighten some child's day, simply click the link in chat. It will take you to our Extra Life page where we will get credit for the donation. And that's it. 6, please don't forget to check in for 1 point in the channel point redemptions below the Twitch chat box. Twitch chat only goes back a couple minutes, but point redemptions show up a long time. Plus, I have a memory of a sieve, and I like to give people shout outs on Twitter, so please do check in. Thank you for checking in, Neosapien. Also, if you are hosting us, please let me know the 1 point I'm hosting redemption, since Twitch alerts for hosting are broken. Hosting helps promote us to Mr. Algorithm, so if you're not already hosting someone else, please do consider giving us a host. Schedule for the rest of this week. This week will be tomorrow, noon Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern. We'll be doing live AEW Rampage reviews over on Kokeshi Ken Media's channel.
Neosapien.
And thank you for the host as well, Neosapien. And then on Sunday, right back here at Gamersledge, 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 Central, 5 Eastern for Sunday Streamer Tech Support. So if you have questions about equipment or things you want to do on a stream, or you're thinking about streaming, come join and ask. There are no such thing as a dumb question, only people who've had to go through a bunch of dumb problems and find answers to them, and we try and help. So that's the rest of this week. Last but not least, I always forget to say so. If you are a Fortnite player or use the Epic PC Store, enter code Gamersledge on either store page if you feel like supporting us. We greatly appreciate it. Again, that code is Gamersledge. And that, my friends, are the announcements. Let's go around the room and talk about what we've been watching and playing for the last 2 weeks. And we will discuss from there. Let's start with Keegan, since you're not dead.
All right. It's been a while, so I have a little bit more than just 2 weeks, but I tried to confine it down to just kind of like the highlights of it. So, one anime that I really enjoyed since the last time I was here is called 86. 86 is a mecha anime, so it has all your political and all that stuff, and it's really interesting, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's actually one of the few anime I've given it a 10 out of 10. So if you like mecha anime, definitely give it a watch. Another one that I really enjoyed was Jobless Reincarnation. It's an isekai, but it actually has some really good world building. Then probably, in my opinion, the most interesting part about it is actually the MC or main character. The main character is kind of trash. Like, he's a trash person, not a badly written one. And not like in the same way like Eren Yeager's a trash person, but he's kind of a perv. But basically, in his past life, he kind of sucked, and there were situations and stuff, but he was reincarnated. And the whole kind of journey of this in this anime is a journey of him becoming better than he was in his past life. It's him growing out of his traumas and habits and becoming a better person, having a second chance to live life. And the way they kind of emphasize that is really cool. So if you love watch anime, give it a try. I have finished what's out of Bleach now. So I actually started this winter, started watching Bleach to prepare for the 1,000-year blood war coming out this October. So got caught up with that and ready to go once that comes out. I finished Spy Family Season 1, which I really enjoyed the entire season. Though, if I have one comment, the last episode of the season was not very last episode of Season E.
Yeah, I totally didn't even realize it was. I went back the next week to watch the next episode and like, there's not one. What's up? And then, oh, it's not coming back till fall.
Yo,
That was a weird breaking point. Okay.
yeah, and it's one of those situations where it's not the end of the season, but it's the end of what they're currently doing of the
Jody
season.
Moon, Thunder Ronin, welcome to the stream.
And
Hello,
that's
friends.
kind of why, but it still kind of was
Hello
very
there.
unfinale like. And yeah, I have finished the second season of Shield Hero.
Don't say anything, please.
Oh,
and
you
thank
haven't watched it yet?
No, I haven't watched
Okay,
it yet.
so don't say anything. Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. Did you like it? Let's put it that way. Oh God.
Complicated answer.
Oh God. All right then. Then
it was
don't-
enjoyable.
okay.
Ish.
Ish. Well, I mean, when you started recapping Reincarnated with No Job, I'm like, oh, so it's Shield Hero, because that guy's not exactly likable either. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Once you start watching, I'll talk with you a bit more about it, because it's part of it is the factor that I have read the manga of that section, and there are some minor yet major kind of things they do that just kind of messes with things.
And I think you mean light novel, not manga.
Well, I've read the manga up through that point. I am not that far in the light novel.
Oh, okay.
So I've read the manga up to the end of season 2, but I have not gotten that far in the light novel yet. So another one that I finished up recently is, actually no, I still have an episode or 2 left of it, but Shikimori's Not Just a Cutie, which is kind of a fun little rom-com. It was hyped up a little too much before it came out, but it's still pretty good. And yeah. Then the anime I just finished was World End. What do you do at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us?
Is that really the entire title?
That is the entire world. That is the entire title.
That's not.
Which it's often reduced to just World End or Suki, I think it is. And so the Suki is based off
Joe
its
is.
Japanese name.
I can't see Joe at the moment, but I just know he is spinning in his chair right now.
Yep. Okay, so that's all I'll talk about for anime. For games, I've played Fire Emblem, Three Houses, Fire Emblem, and Final Fantasy 14, and I also played Blasphemous and got the good and true ending. For manga, I've read the 9th volume of Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest. I have a D&D campaign starting up tomorrow that I'm participating in. I am a barbarian with the subclass of Ancient Guardian and level 14. So,
all right,
and I'm a
then.
turtle.
Oh, there you go.
Yep, turtle. So yeah.
Squirtle.
And then yeah, that finishes up.
All right. Well, then let's go to. I'm going to do this way out of order. Let's go to Matt.
Wow, wasn't expecting that. Okay. So let's see. Game-wise, the standard 3 that I've been playing of late, Fortnite, Tetris Effect, and Returnal. Managed to make it to the second boss of Returnal, but it stomped me like with half an inch of life left. I just anyway.
Oh yeah, I played that too and died by stepping off the ledge of the world when I was on his last
the
health
trick
bar.
with you is you got to the end. You got to the second boss and almost beat it on your first real run, not the one where you like get there and you have to die, but like your first real run, you got to the second boss. I was I was beside myself.
Sorry.
But no, that was okay. I was just like, I kind of hate you. I've played the second biome like 37 times, and I had just finally gotten to the base of the mountain, and you just took off. But yeah. So there's that. I haven't played it again since, so I don't know if I'm gonna get back to the second boss again or not. So we'll see. Then a little bit of Final Fantasy 14. I'm still in the content between Realm Reborn and Heaven's Word. So there's a lot. There's a lot in that middle gap there. I'm guessing it must have taken a bit longer to get to Heaven's Word than the other ones, but there's just a lot in there.
But don't worry, there's a lot in Heaven's Word also.
Oh, I know. Then there's Chocobo's Mystery Dungeon. Everybody was on PlayStation Plus, whatever the top 2 tiers are.
Ultimate.
And I was curious about that one, and so I fired that up. Interesting little game. Haven't gotten very far. I'm not sure if I'll keep it up or not, but I'll keep it up for a bit longer, get through a couple more dungeons before I decide if I keep playing it or not. I started up Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time. That was also, again, on PlayStation. Oh, no, that was part of the PlayStation Plus regular essential games for this month. So I downloaded that and started playing that. That is a very classic Crash Bandicoot experience. It's really well done. It's a really nice game. They do give you the option to either play a classic mode with lives or in modern mode where there's infinite lives essentially. I am playing it on modern mode because I don't have any hair left to pull out. So that just the way it works. And then also got, Mitchell actually picked this up, but we've both been looking at it, working through it. Klonoa I had to write this down because it's a weird title. Klonoa Phantasm Reverie Series, which is the 25th anniversary remasters of Klonoa and Klonoa 2 that were a PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 2.5D platforming game series. And it's pretty, oh my gosh. I mean, it's like literally what you thought the game was, but if you go back and look at the old PlayStation 1 and 2 graphics, they don't quite hold up. But I mean, it's pretty. It looks great. I mean, you would have thought it was made this year. You would have. Well, it was. I mean, kind of. But they really did take a lot of time. It wasn't a phone-in remaster like some are. There is an easy mode which does give you infinite lives, or you can play it on classic mode, which is you start out with the standard 3 lives, but in Klonoa, you can farm lives pretty easy, so it's not a big deal. It is a good game for younger players to jump in on. So if there's anybody out there with younger gamers there that they're looking for more kid-friendly content for, it is incredibly kid-friendly. Games that were published by Namco and now Namco Bandai. And the collection itself is $40, which seems a bit on the high end. But they really did clean it up nice and stay really true to the original games. So I think it's actually pretty reasonable. The somewhat unreasonable part is, at least on PlayStation, there is a $20 add-on. So essentially, if you want the Ultimate Edition, it's a $20 add-on that gives you an digital art book, the full soundtrack as a separate thing, and then a bunch of skins essentially for Klonoa that you can put on and do. We did not purchase that part. We did not purchase the $20 add-on stuff. I'm kind of interested in the art book, but I'd be more interested in a physical art book than a one I can only watch on my PlayStation. So yeah, that is that. Any questions? Continuing. I am currently in the middle of Dead Beat, which is the Dresden Files number 7. So get about halfway through that, on pace to finish it this month and keep up my 1 book a month pace here. I also caught up on some comics. I caught up on Thor, Avengers, the King Conan mini, Star Wars book, Darth Vader book, and the Dr. Aphra book. So I've caught up on those, trying to make an effort here to get caught back up again. Because every time I get caught up, I get lazy and get way behind and then end up with huge stacks of comics sitting over there. And we've got a puppy coming, and I really should not have comics on the floor anywhere in the house. So, yeah. TV, still watching Better Call Saul season 1. It's good. You know, I've heard it only gets better, but it's already pretty dang good. I think I'm episode 9 of 10, I think is where I'm at. Finished Ms. Marvel. I don't know if we're going to talk about that later or not, but yep, finished
We
that up.
can talk about it now. I still haven't seen the final episode.
Oh, well then let's not talk about it till next time we meet.
I mean, you can say if you liked it or not.
Oh, yeah, no, I think it was really good.
I liked it. I mean, I'm obviously, I have not seen the final one, but I am, you know, that's one episode out of 6, and I've loved the 5 episodes that I saw. It feels like a really different show for Marvel.
It is a different show, but it is very much in the spirit of the book, right? The further the show goes, the more it significantly diverges from the book.
Significantly.
But you know, it's still there. It's like any of these projects that Marvel does that really well. It can be as different as you want it, but somehow they still get the feel right. This is one of those ones where they got the feel right, in no small part to the main character's actress. I can constantly forget her name, but
Ms. Marvel.
Ms. Marvel. I mean, Kamala Khan is the character, but I can't remember the actress's name. But anyway, I mean, she is loving this role. I mean, there is an amount of heart and soul you just can't fake, you just can't act, and that's there. And I mean, if you've seen any of the interviews with her, you know, she is the real deal, right? I mean, she is a Marvel fan. She is totally heads over heels for this character, and she just throws herself into this role in a way that
Wolfsgun, welcome to the stream. Hello there.
A lot of actors could have done. The support cast is great. A couple of interesting changes that I'm not quite sure why they went with, but it doesn't hurt it, especially if you didn't know the original. Final episode sets things up very nicely it's a good tie-up point for the season. So it's going to leave you wanting more just because it is really well done. But there is definitely a point we'll need to discuss that comes up in the episode. So there's a few points actually, but it's really well done. It is only 6 episodes. I think they're about 40 minutes a piece. It's not a significant investment to watch this one. If you're gonna sit down and watch something,
a couple of them are even 30 minutes.
Are they? Yeah. They were a bit shorter. So it's
once you take out the credits and stuff like that, they come in at like 30, 35 minutes or something like that. But I think that's only like 1 or 2. Most of them are like right around 40 minutes.
Yeah, most of them are.
So your standard without commercials TV show, hour-long TV show. So I really enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to what this character does and what this actress does going forward. And I hope this opens a bunch of doors for her, because she's a very talented young lady, and I'm looking interested to see where she goes with stuff. Finished Umbrella Academy season 3. I don't know. At this point, I think it's just something I watch. It's not that it was bad. It
was actually pretty good. I just
at
think
the end there was just.
Well, yeah. So I think the end is the typical trope that we run into every time, right? And that is, you've got to break up the team so that everybody can be at their lowest just to build it back up again. And it feels like they've done that too many times now.
Yeah,
but they do it every single season. I mean, that's the thing. Everybody hates each other, and so that's the impetus to break them all apart. They do their thing, and then miraculously, that has everything to do, and then they bring them back together, and then they save the universe.
Well, I'd say it's more like when they find they can't do it on their own.
Yeah.
Which seems to be the recurring theme.
Which was what part of what killed Guardians of the Galaxy 2 for me is like, all of the and what killed Picard for you, it's like all the character progression that had ever been done with these characters is now just completely thrown out the window, and we're just going to do the same story over again. Like, Picard, I think, falls into a different thing, but I know that was your problem with it.
Yeah. That was one of them. Yes.
And so
problems. That's
I think I think it was good. It was good enough. If you watched the first 2 seasons and you enjoyed it, you probably want to watch season 3 because season 4 has got a pretty good setup. I think they could really do things. I've not read the source on this. I have no idea if we're anywhere near the source. That's one of the things I think I'll do some point in time is I'll see if I can find some trades of it. But
the big thing that was revealed in the hotel at the very end of that episode got spoiled for me like 2 days before I watched that episode, and I was like, no. So
ouch. Yeah, that sucks because the reveals at the end are actually kind of the best part,
Yeah.
But
yeah.
all right. So then started The Boys season 3. I think are 3 or 4 episodes in. So yeah, that's ridiculous.
No, not yet.
Oh, I know it's going to keep on getting ridiculous or whatever the correct word is there. But yeah, it's already ridiculous and it's just going to get worse. I know.
The acting of the guy who plays Homelander, he needs an Emmy this year because I have never seen anyone so scary.
No.
Like he just like chef's kiss, and kudos to the showrunners and the writers because even people that they have made completely irredeemable, they make you second guess certain things with certain people later down the road where you've gotten Matt. And I'm not going to say anything about anyone, but just chef's kiss. Like this whole season, especially, I heard somebody say that the last episode was a bit of a letdown, and I did not. Yeah, I didn't feel that at all. I thought it very potently escalated things even further than we thought they were going to be. This show is nuts. I mean, I know the source material came out a long, long time ago, but it is very disturbing how it kind of fits into today's world and tells a narrative there.
Well, I mean,
Well,
celebrities
but I mean-
only gotten worse in the last 20 years.
Right,
Right?
exactly.
I mean,
Yes.
But they're intentionally doing that. I mean, they're very, very, very strong parallels to.
As someone
things
who
that
read the source material, they're not going that far away from the source material, and that's why it's disturbing to me.
Yeah, but I mean that's also kind of my big problem with it, especially this season, is just like, man, whatever your political affiliation is or whatever, but I mean just the parallels that they're drawing to the past 2, 3, 4 years. It's just like, I lived through it. It sucked. I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't great for me. I mean, if you're into, if you enjoyed the past 4 years, maybe you really like this season of The Boys. I don't know. Maybe you're like, yeah, hell yeah, Homelander.
Oh no, I think it's the exact opposite. I think it wants to remind you of the last 4 years the way you don't want it to.
See, that's.
I think Joe just blew a gasket so hard.
Yeah, I mean,
he flew off the internet.
He broke the internet.
He broke the internet again.
My bandwidth's really bad, but no, I watched the whole season of it, and I'm just like, at the end of it, I'm just like, I'm exhausted. I just mentally, and I mean, if you've seen a couple episodes, I mean, you know that Homelander is just, I mean, he's an immovable object, and they're spending this entire season trying to move the immovable object, and it's just like, and it's like, well, where do you go now for next season? I mean, how long is Amazon going to ride this Boys trend? Because I mean, it's obvious that this is a moneymaker for it, for sure. I mean, I think they just announced, I don't know if we're getting to it in news, but they just announced Generation V, or Gen V, I think is going to be their spinoff series or whatever.
Well, they already had a spinoff series with the animated one.
Yes, that was Diabolic. This is a new live action spinoff that focuses on a freshman class of superheroes going to superhero college, Vought Superhero College. And then it will weave into the next season of The Boys proper.
Yeah, I'm too exhausted to watch the show anymore. I mean, will I watch it? Will I watch
Neo
more of it?
Sapien
Yeah,
said,
probably. My
"Hello
wife
there."
loves it. But I'm just, man, I'm exhausted after watching that show. I'm on edge. I'm getting PTSD from the last couple of years. I'm just like, God dang,
Sure.
I can't handle this. I need something a little more lighthearted. Yeesh.
Yeah,
Well,
I recommend those ones like 2020 where it's like husbands and wives murdering each other. Like that's a good come down from that stuff.
Honestly, I'm gonna go rewatch Ozark or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, right? But that at the same time, I think it's good satire in a way of drawing the parallels. And yes, you're not wrong that by the time you finish the season, you are exhausted, because every time you say this can't possibly get any worse, they
100%.
do. It 100% does, and you're like, oh snap! It just got like really, really real, really
Way
bad,
worse.
way worse, way
Can't possibly
worse.
get any worse.
Yeah, no, literally, there were. I
Famous
think there were.
last words.
There were 3 episodes in the season where I'm like, well, this can't get worse. It's not tenable. And then they found a way to crank it up to 11 for the next 3 episodes. And I'm like, oh my God. And so I get why you're exhausted. You're not wrong. By the time you finish it, you've gone through that mental, emotional roller coaster. And to be honest, I actually showed this show to someone who has PTSD, and they were like, nope, I'm out after the first episode. And I get that very much. It is definitely not a show for everybody, but if you like dark things, this is a good show for you.
And whether it's that or it's just the difference in the structure, and I think it's more the latter than the former. Whereas, like, I could watch an episode of season 4 of Stranger Things, which were primarily an hour and 15 minutes long, and I thought it had been like a half hour by the end of the episode. You feel every freaking minute of this show. It's like, how is this episode only half over? You know, you pause to get up to go to the bathroom or something. You're like, how is this only like a 58-minute episode? How is this only half over?
Let me tell you, I will say that I read, like I said, I read all the source material, and I knew what Herogasm was going into it. And I knew there was no way they were ever going to be able to pull that off and not have like riots. So they did a different story, but what I really appreciated with it is it's not the story, especially if you read the stuff, that you're expecting. And it was, in my opinion, better than the original source material by a factor of like 10. And
well, I'm a little pissed. Well, I'm not angry, but it's
you can't be angry,
so
Joe. That's already taken.
I know. But it's just like everyone, like social media across the board was just like, you're not ready for Herogasm. And it was like, oh, okay, whatever. And so I finally sat down and watched it. And I'm like, oh, okay, so there's some boobs and dongs, you know, guy's got a, you know, oh, there's a wiener. Okay.
Remember that Matt hasn't watched it yet. Just, that's all I'm going to say.
Well, it's called Herogasm, Matt. So I mean, you're gonna see the dong. Spoiler alert. There's dongs in this episode.
There's been dongs in the season already so far. So yeah.
Yeah. So I mean,
I'm not surprised.
Spoiler
It
alert.
starts off pretty.
Also,
I mean,
I
I don't
question
wanna
the
ruin anything
anatomy
for
of that opening scene, but anyway, we won't go there.
Wait, did you watch that episode yet?
The first episode.
Oh,
The
okay.
first
Not
episode.
Herogasm.
No,
yet.
not
Okay.
here. I guess I haven't gotten there yet.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that's the next one or 2 away, but yeah.
It's
So wow,
actually,
that
I think 5.
okay. Then that would
Yeah,
be we're through 4, so it'll be the next episode.
Okay.
We just had the thing happen that I knew was going to happen because obviously they didn't pay all this money to get this actor to come do this role and then not be in the show.
Oh no, you
So-
still have 2.
Oh, I have 2 then.
You have
Okay.
2 then, if
Okay.
that's where you're at.
Well, that
Yeah.
must be 6. That it must be episode 6 then. Okay, because that was the end of episode 4.
Yeah, and let me
right.
say, he does a damn good job acting also. I mean,
well, what he's been in so far, yeah.
oh no,
but
no, 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 no. It's
it gets better.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Jensen Ackles is a great actor. I mean, the stuff. I mean, he kind of gets railroaded for being Dean because he was Dean for 17 seasons or something ridiculous like that. But he's actually a really good actor. Okay, and then just quickly, Thor: Love and Thunder, and also last night went and saw Top Gun Maverick. Which, oh my God, if you haven't seen a movie in the theater, just do it, because I was gonna just watch it when it came out on home release, and I'm glad I saw it in the theater. Also, Ace Combat the game, I've flown that mission in every freaking Ace Combat game that has ever come out. I've flown that mission. So it is Ace Combat the game, or the movie rather. Yeah, there's that too. But
Hey,
yeah,
Matt,
okay.
let me ask you, Matt, when you had you seen the original Top Gun in like the past 5-10 years or whatever?
Yes.
Yeah, we actually just saw it in the last 3-4 months. Yeah.
So where how would you compare it to the original one? Because I've seen it, but I'm just kind of wondering your thoughts, how you like it compared to the original one.
They're very different movies, right? It's hard to there's similar things, but they're very, very different movies. I mean, I joke and say it's Ace Combat the movie, but as far as the plane stuff goes, it's all way more realistic than it was in the original Top Gun. So I mean, there's a seriousness to this one that was totally missing from the original.
For sure. Yeah.
I would say they're neck and neck. I mean, if you take them in their own time and space and genre that they're in, I would put them, they're right neck and neck to me. I mean, as much fun as you would have watching the goofy, campy 80s stuff, in the theater, I think you have just as much enjoyment out of the not as goofy, but still exciting stuff that happens in Maverick. The cast was amazing. Cast was amazing. I was really concerned when I found out that one of the main plot points was going to be, and this was all in the trailers, so I don't think spoilers, but minor spoilers if you've kept yourself completely clean from Maverick, that one of the main points was going to be the conflict between Maverick and Goose's son. That concerned me because that could have gone bad easily. That could have gone very bad easily.
They handled all of that very well.
They did. And if we're talking about character progression, Maverick kept his character progression.
Yeah.
I mean, he kept the character progression of the original movie. Now, he didn't progress much beyond that, but he kept the character progression from 20 years ago, or 30 years ago. So
Tom Cruise got time capsuled for 20 years. But no, I agree with you. I think they're very much a product of their own time period. I mean, the Top Gun of the 80s was very much, toxic masculinity and bravado. And that was kind of prevalent here, but
it was presented in such a different way, right? Was the way it was treated and the way that everyone treated the Iceman character of this movie, right? He was treated completely different than Ice was treated in the original movie. So, there's parallels, but everything's just a little bit different. I mean, even the beach topless required scene, it's there and it did its thing, but it comes off completely different than the original. Sure. So,
I came out of there really.
Did it have Kenny Loggins in the background though during the scene? That's
yes, yeah.
Well, actually, did. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's why I was going to ask. What would you two give this out of 10?
Oh, 10.
Oh.
Wow.
I really, I mean, 8 or 9 out of 10. I mean, it's a really good summer flick. I mean, as soon as I got out of it, I was actually like, oh, this is way better than the original Top Gun. I mean, it just has a lot more heart to it. I mean, it has like a lot more sincerity to it, I guess, or genuineness. I mean, I don't know. It's really hard. It has
right up to the last 15 minutes, and then it's totally campy 80s movie, and then turns around and comes back.
Yeah. Well, and what's really clever is, and I don't think this is a spoiler, but the conflict of the whole movie, they never mentioned a single country. You have no idea where this is taking place. It is random enemy. And they managed to skirt around that so cleverly, I guess. I mean, it's just really weird. It's just like, we need to take out the enemy and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, where are you guys? There's a boat and then there's some land over here and we're going to go do a thing.
It's probably off the coast of
is-
Shadaloo. I'm pretty sure.
it
Might have been in Madripoor.
It might
I'm
as
not
well
sure.
be.
Street Fighter, Marvel, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So you're saying, I mean, this is a sequel that after 20 years, people enjoyed and looked up to, just like Matrix 4.
Oh God!
Come on now. I know you're trying.
I can't even say it with a straight face.
Come on.
I can't even say it with a straight face. So, Matt,
this is the antithesis of Matrix 4. Let's
Got
put
it.
it that way.
got
I
it.
like Matrix 4.
No, you didn't.
You're
No,
drunk.
no,
Dave.
nobody did. There was nobody that liked Matrix 4.
No, I legitimately did.
No,
Oh well.
I thought we talked about this.
I don't
maybe,
think
and we blocked
Probably.
it out.
Well, yeah, if we
blocked
did,
it.
so traumatic, I erased it from the memory banks.
I mean, I'm not saying it's like the best movie ever made or anything like that, but there was a lot of bits I liked. See, I compartmentalize movies. I can forget a lot of bad stuff really quick.
Apparently,
Just go like, hey,
So for you, that was like a 3-minute long movie.
yeah, that's
then.
what I was just going to say. That, Matt. Thank you. Yes, had to be about 3 minutes.
I might have to watch it again.
I don't
I
do it to
wouldn't
yourself.
waste
Yeah, I
your
wouldn't.
I remember
wouldn't do
having fun. What a bunch
That
of
title
fun.
sequence was rad, man. Title sequence.
There were some people who had a lot of fun with the movie, and I can't fault them. I've had fun with movies that people have mocked me for. So I mean, I get it. It's just,
Like it was at best okay. Like I'm talking like 5.0 to 6.0. Not bad.
I remember
but not
enjoying
great.
a couple of the new characters. I remember enjoying Neil Patrick Harris and what's his face?
It's
Guy was in Mindhunters.
it's the same problem I have with a lot of DC live action stuff. It's like they got the trappings right. Like they got the cinematography right, but they totally didn't get the feel of the characters right.
Well, when they spend the first 20 minutes of the movie telling you we didn't want to make this movie, you know.
You're not
I
wrong.
think that's the best part of the movie.
I kind of thought that was funny. Like I was just like,
It's just so on the note, and they're not even being coy about it. It's just like
No,
it's so on the nose. It's just
I know
so
that-
oh god.
I don't know. That's why I kind of thought was just hilarious about it. They were just like, you know, they just made the movie and like, and I don't know. It's
As someone who has not seen any of the other Matrix besides 4, it was entertainable enough to watch.
Oh,
Okay, and that's
Yeah,
fair,
what are
I
you-
guess. But also shame on you, Matt.
Okay,
What
correct.
are you
I
doing,
have
Matt?
seen the end of 3.
No, you're not helping your case here. You're not helping your case at all.
what is this?
This is bad parenting, is what it is, Matt.
No.
I am
was
very
just
upset
not
with
around
you.
when he was so what happened was he
No,
was
no.
showing the family the movies. I was not home. I was off at college, busy doing college stuff.
But that's
how
still-
old were you when you went to college?
Yeah,
You were
exactly.
5.
Were you 5 when you went to college? Because
Yes.
I mean, that means you've never seen the Animatrix either. So double
Oh.
shame on you, Matt.
Ow. I know. Yeah, you would think you would have seen the Animatrix like 1,000 times.
I mean,
Oh my
you
God.
love
That's
anime,
like right up your
Keegan.
alley.
Here's one of the greatest
Yeah.
anime ever made. I'm not going to show it to you. Okay.
I did watch Animatrix.
he likes
So-
romance anime.
Okay.
He likes romance anime. Come on.
I did rewatch Animatrix recently, and it is still very good.
It is. I
Alright.
actually just watched it the other day.
Is
and
it
I'm
like
still-
Steins Gate good or
No, it's Love, Death, and Robots.
Yes.
okay?
Yes, that is definitely the
Yes.
general vibe.
Okay.
It's an anthology all within that universe, and they're pretty much all really good.
You get some history of the world that's embellished on from the movies. You get the prequel to 2. at the end, and then just some other cool stories in the middle.
This really hurts my heart, Keegan, because now you've seen 4 and you can't go back and watch 1 without all that baggage. Because when 1 came out, it literally was like mind-blowing stuff. And you've had it all ruined for you.
Excited for them to make more Matrix movies.
I do remember that, yes.
I
mean, big kudos to the marketing team that created the trailers for 4, because they gave you the impression that everything was firing on all cylinders, and I had a lot of hope for the movie. And then when we got into it, I was just like, oh no, I see why the other Wachowski sister didn't want to make this movie and didn't sign her name to it, because she didn't want to be tied to it.
Yeah. But I mean, to be fair, in this day and age, there is no way that he didn't predict every single beat of the Matrix. I mean,
that's
the
what I'm
Matrix
saying.
Was new at the time, but I mean, and so, but I mean, it is still one of like 3 successful live action anime. Essentially, I mean, it doesn't have an anime behind it, but it is essentially one of 3 actually well executed live action anime.
I mean, it did rip scenes directly from Ghost in the Shell. So.
It did.
Yeah, I'm going to say it doesn't have it. It did, it wasn't derived from an anime, but the other 2 being
aside for frame to frame shots.
Well, I mean, the storyboards are basically the manga, right? I mean, if you look at the storyboards, they're pretty much frame to frame to the movie, and that's essentially the manga for it. But the only other 2 I would say that were super successful, they're super well done, would be Battle Angel, and I know this didn't have a manga in it, it's not even Japanese, but Shaolin Soccer.
I'd say you'd have to have Scott Pilgrim up there somewhere.
Okay, I wasn't counting that. Okay, we can go with 4.
And then there's Ricky O, the Legend of Ricky.
Yeah, that's a whole different. I don't even know what you categorize that as. So anyway, we still got 2 more people to get through, so let's move on.
Okay, are you done?
Yeah, that was it. That was
okay, great.
The movies were the end of my list.
So then, Dave.
Hey, so let's see, game-wise. All right, so no, we'll start with TV because that's pretty quick to go through. Better Call Saul started back up, and damn, that show is just, man, and they still have episodes left to go. There's like so much stuff happening on that. So Matt, you said you're in season 1 still?
Yeah, season 1, episode 8 or 9.
And you're like already enjoying it.
Yeah.
So that's
I think I already like it better than Breaking Bad, except for maybe the first season.
Yeah, it's honestly, especially as the show gets, rolling, like you're not even at the, man.
Just finished the Kettleman stuff.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, the thing is, like, the show is such a ride, and it is, if they can stick the landing of these next few episodes, however many there are left, I'm going to say right now, it was the best TV show ever. As long as they stick that landing, which, I mean, they haven't given us a
better than Stranger Things.
Jesus.
I mean, you can't really compare it. Well, I mean, I've never seen Better Call Saul, so I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
The reason why I would say yes is because Better Call Saul is consistently awesome. They didn't have a season 2 that sucked.
I was just gonna say, it's true. Stranger Things has some ups and downs in there. Yeah.
Like, I was gonna go back and watch season 2 because I was like, am I being harsh? Like, was I just like not into it when I was watching it? And I was like asking a bunch of people. I was like, did Stranger Things season? Yeah. Whatever, that show season 2 actually suck, and they were like, oh yeah, it was awful. So
now Dave, I give you a challenge.
Oh boy,
you need to go back and watch I've been going back and rewatching Mr. Show.
Oh yeah,
and you need to do that now just to see the contrast.
Well, there's also
quite good.
Well, there's also like there's a skit where they remember. I don't know if you remember this one, where what's his face? Guy played Lenny from Lenny and Squiggy. You know who I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where he was a law professor,
Yes.
and then he made Bob Odenkirk teach the class, and I was just like, man, there it is right there. Better Call Saul.
Yep.
This is the show. This
Yep.
is the show. This is where it started. So I kind of like love that stuff.
And just like the musical where they have the leather pants salesman in the Ozarks, that was the formula for Ozark.
God, that show was good. Do you know I almost saved myself from my previous marriage because of Mr. Show?
I did
Ever
not.
tell you that story? So I was trying. So Mr. Show, when remember they made a brief comeback.
Mhm.
They filmed a couple special episodes.
Yep.
Well, they did that in Philly. So I was contacting all my friends, telling them that we need to go see Mr. Show. And nobody was getting back to me about this. And I was like, guys, what is going on? We got to get tickets for this. And they were like, you do realize that that's your wedding day, right? So I should have listened to my gut on that one and gone to see Mr. Show and not got married that time. I mean, it all worked out.
Okay, you have told that story before. I just forgot it was Mr.
Yes.
Show revival.
I forgot it was Mr. Show as well. I'd heard they were doing a new one, but I have to double check that.
They are supposed to be doing something. I don't know exactly when, where, how, but I heard they're doing something again.
All right. So what else did you watch?
Oh yeah. So I'm caught up on that. Finished Miss Marvel, which was excellent. Can't believe you didn't finish it because there's
the wife unit has not been feeling good, and so we didn't catch it this week.
I'm not. I get it. I just
trust me, it's not for my lack of trying. Let's put it that way.
So one thing that nobody else has mentioned: Star Trek: Strange New Worlds,
which I haven't gotten to watch yet. It's killing me.
Oh God!
I will say that. So that show, it's over now, right? They finished out with the last,
they finished it. Yeah,
that season's wrapped up.
Yep.
And man, they stuck the landing on that huge. That season was it was perfect. Everybody was great.
So a lot of people think I hate Discovery because of the characters, which is not true. I only kind of really dislike Burnham, but I like most of the other characters. But let me tell you, when they introduced him as Pike and he was in command of the Enterprise, and then those were the best episodes of Discovery there were.
They were.
And
that's why he got
and I was like, give me a show with this guy. And then they have, and I haven't had a chance to watch it. And it's killing me because I want to watch it so bad, because it actually seems like they get Trek as opposed to new Trek, which is everything else right now, which is making me angry. And which I'm not opposed to change. I'm not opposed to change for IPs, right? It's just that it seems like Paramount is pulling a DC and has forgotten what the feeling and the motivation behind Trek was in the first place, and they're just doing grimdark stuff to do grimdark stuff.
Yeah. Well, whoever did this series, they're back.
Good. I'm all in. I want to watch it so bad.
Maybe you can get mad at the one episode that went kind of like space horror, but that was even awesome.
Yeah. But that was still a really good episode.
Oh yeah. I was digging it because I love, Alien's like one of my favorite movies. Like the original Alien is one of my favorite movies of all time. That's just like, I'm sorry, when bad stuff's happening on a spaceship, I just get creeped out because they're just like,
This is the one thing, and I do want to take a minute to talk about this, is that if you want grimdark, Pike's your man, right? Because he even knows what's going to happen to him. Which, spoilers for a 65-year-old TV show, we know he's going to end up in the wheelchair, trapped on the planet at some point. And so instead, what I really like is how they've taken that, and he knows his fate, and he's boldly going on in spite of that and doing the best he can and trying not to let that foreknowledge cripple him. That
man.
to me, if they manage to do that full character arc to the point that he's, he goes back to the planet and lives in his dream world until the Federation comes and rescues him. That's super dark, man. I really love it. And that's a way that you can do dark, but still keep the spirit of the original thing alive.
Oh yeah, they nailed it. And there was only there was one thing on the show that started getting annoying, and they even addressed that right away.
Okay.
And I was just like,
Which thing?
The daughter thing, actually. I'm just going to say the daughter thing.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And they squashed that. It was like they were reading the comments in the chat rooms, and they were like, "Oh, we should probably do something about that."
The thing is, and it wasn't even like they were just like make it go away. It was just like there was an excellent wrap up of that.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where it was just like, oh wait a minute, I'm not even mad at this whole thing now because they closed it off so well. And and that's kind of like what shows don't do is just like even if there's something that it wasn't even like that annoying. It was just like, okay, I don't want to see this become a thing all the time.
10 eps, right?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Was it?
I wanted to say it was 10, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, I mean it's around there. But it's all good stuff. If you don't like it, I am going to be shocked.
Yeah, I'm from everything I've heard from everyone who has watched it, they're telling me you'll very much enjoy it. And I mean, I trust you guys. I don't trust Dave, but I trust you guys collectively.
Yes, it is 10 episodes.
Okay, thank you. I thought so. No, but I'm going to have to binge that here eventually.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not like, I say I'm not the biggest Trek guy, but I've apparently watched everything more than once. So, I guess I am a Trek guy. I don't know. But it is really great. The characters are all it is just a it's a home run of a show. Can't wait for the more. I'm glad they're already doing more. So that's gonna be good stuff. Caught up on wrestling except for tonight. Caught up on
wait, let's get it out of the way now so Matt can flatline and we can revive him.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Wednesday's Dynamite was, in my opinion, probably one of the strongest episodes they've ever had.
So that last match was
not just the last match.
I know
the Takeshita versus Mox match, the opening match of what was the opening match?
Wardlow.
Oh, Wardlow versus Orange Cassidy. I mean, I scratched my head from a booking standpoint as to why you would do that, since they just had Orange take a pretty major loss, but I mean, he still comes out super credible. They pulled it off. It was,
super entertaining.
Super entertaining.
I mean, just that one scene where he's just trying to lure around the ring, and all of a sudden Wardlow just stops and then just grabs Danhausen from underneath the ring. It all just worked.
Yeah, no, it was really, really well done. I mean, I think probably, in my opinion, Orange Cassidy is one of the most talented wrestlers we've seen in a generation. And I don't say that just because of his ingenuity with his shtick, because when you think about it, he's making things twice as hard on yourself, because trying to wrestle with your hands in your pockets is next to impossible, and he makes it look so easy.
But I loved all the bits they did, like Wardlow ripping the pockets out and everything like that.
Orange Cassidy putting the straps back up.
Yeah,
that was.
I mean, when they first my wife got mad that they were doing that because she also likes Orange Cassidy.
Mm-hmm.
So she likes Wardlow, she likes Orange Cassidy, and she was like, I don't want to see him beat up Orange Cassidy. And I was just like, yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with this match. And we both watched, and we're laughing and enjoying. It was just fun, Yeah. And I really enjoy when they do stuff like that.
And they need to give Takeshita a win soon, because man, the crowds get behind him.
Oh yeah.
And it doesn't matter that he's from another federation or whatever. They have booked him like a superstar, and he is a superstar. I mean, you want to talk about a Young Lions program, quote unquote. AEW has turned this guy into everybody's cheering for him.
Yeah.
And then and then you've got the Cesaro Jake Hager match was better than I expected.
Yeah.
Which is a compliment.
I am not Like, I mean, I understand his role and everything like that and what he's doing, but Hager, I am not like a fan of his matches.
Same.
They're just like, I don't know. And they dress him funny, I don't know.
And then, that last match though, I mean, I wish I had filmed Lexi because she does the VTube model, and you could just watch the VTube model like freak out for a minute because she was rolling around in her chair so much the tracking couldn't keep up with her.
Nice.
She came unglued when they won the titles because that was obviously not what I thought they were going to do for sure.
No,
I thought they were building towards FTR Young Bucks 3.
Yeah.
And maybe they still are, but I think it's going to be a longer route to get there. But kudos to them to show that anything can happen on a random episode of AEW Dynamite.
And it was just done so well. Like, man,
it was so good.
And it was great because, like, my wife was also watching. She was like asking, like, because she sometimes goes to sleep like before the end. And she was like, and she'll always ask, like, is it worth watching? I was like, oh yeah, you're going to want to watch this, and she's like a big fan of Keith Lee and Swerve, like that whole, like, team and everything. She likes, she first hated tag team matches. And now I think she is appreciating them more, like, as she's like, watching them and stuff. And she loves like Swerve and Keith Lee are very entertaining. I was against that merging when they first came in. And I was like, oh, I don't want this. Like, this is, but man, it works.
I strangely feel like they both required in their contracts to have gold. And so this is the easiest way to give both of them gold.
That's funny.
I really think that that's probably part of the decision making in this. But at the same time, they're both still very much Swerve and Keith Lee. And, I've seen heel Strickland, and he is, in my opinion, way far better than babyface Strickland. So I'm down for that turn whenever it does happen. But we had a couple people in the chat who've never seen Keith Lee before, and I'm like, oh, just you wait till he takes off, and they're like, what?
When he just did that, like, jumping spin kick, I was just like,
yeah.
How does that guy do that?
Yeah. 350 pounds, clearing like 5 feet straight up to do a jumping spin kick. Yeah, I'm like, oh yeah, you ain't seen nothing yet. This guy's amazing.
Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand how he moves.
No, I don't either.
But huge fan. Awesome. I love it. I'm glad they, got that. And I hope that goes on for a while.
Yeah.
So to actually interject something other than just straight wrestling into this. So this is Dave primarily. I mean, Mark, you went through this recently too, but Dave a little more recently. I mean, your wife is fairly new to this, right? This has been like less than a year. She's been interested in this, right? Or participating in this. So what has that experience been like? And can you offer any advice to someone who's trying to get someone who would not traditionally be a fan, no, not me, of wrestling to come in? And, how did you go about that? How has that experience been? And do you have any thoughts on that? Because that's interesting to me, even outside of the wrestling stuff.
It honestly happened by accident.
As most great things do.
Yeah. Because I think what happened was, I think when CM Punk was making his debut, I was like, hey, can I watch this live? Like, because usually I would just tape it and watch it later. And I was just like, hey, I want to watch something live. And she was just like, oh, okay. And then he comes out and the crowd's going crazy. And that kind of got her, like, I guess, like, a little, like, interested in it. She didn't jump in right away then, though. But then, like, later on I was watching, I was like, hey, do you mind if I watch the wrestling? And, I'd watch it sometimes, like, at nights, or something like that. And she would still be awake. And she was like, what's going on here? Oh, like, and she got interested in, like, CM Punk. She was like, he just doesn't look like a wrestler. I'm like, oh, yeah. I was like, well, it's not like, it's not like they're all roid heads anymore. I was like, and this company's doing things a little bit different, so it also helped that it was AEW. They're doing things different, and, like, they put on matches. So she got a kick out of, like, the performance, that they were doing, but also got into, like, the characters. And then when she really jumped in, it was when CM Punk was going up against MJF. So she came in at the beginning of that feud. So this guy was like talking and he's funny. And like she watches like, her guilty pleasure is watching like the housewife shows, And I was just like, honestly, I was like, I can't see why you wouldn't love wrestling. I was like, because it's just like the housewife show, except after they argue for like a month, there's a satisfying ass kicking at the end of it. So that's basically how I pitched it. And she's been, enjoying it, ever since. But it's also like, it's very different. Like, like CM Punk comes out with like, pro, like, women t-shirts and everything like that. Like, pro women's rights t-shirts. Like, it's not like wrestling from the 90s where it's like all just like, straight misogyny, it's, it's a very different culture, they're doing there. Except for, in the WWE where, Vince is getting indicted for being being a bad person.
And Matt, I already have planned out like what I would show you to try and get you into wrestling. So don't think that that's not already there.
Oh yeah, we've talked about that.
Because I mean, what I would say for anyone is show them the least wrestling matches possible. Orange Cassidy, there are really entertaining wrestlers who do a good job at exactly that, entertaining. And the wrestling can be good. Most of the time, not the greatest when it's entertaining wrestlers, but in the case of Orange Cassidy, he's amazing. But I'd start with some of the lesser wrestling, and then when people start to kind of get a feel for what a match consists of and how it ends, then you can slowly start to introduce them to better and better wrestlers. MJF is super entertaining because he is such a POS. I mean, like, literally, my wife hates no one on this planet more than MJF. Like, if she could actually kill someone, I'm pretty sure she would say MJF needs to die. Like,
she does realize it's acting, right?
She does.
At an intellectual level, but at an emotional level.
Yeah, an emotional level. Like, I really thought that no one would replace her, and Christian bagging on Jungle Boy's dead father, which is Luke Perry from 90210.
That didn't go over well with Perry.
Oh my God. She came out of her chair and she's like, this needs to stop. I'm like, it's an act, and she knows that. But at the same time, she gets so caught up into it in the moment.
So let me tell you this. This is what's fun. This is what Carrie's doing now. So she turns around literally right before I came on here. I was talking with her. She goes, oh, here, look at this. I looked up, if CM Punk ever fought Christian, and she pulled up a bit they did in the ring where Punk is going after Christian, where he's in full heel mode, when they met in the WWE. So now she's interested in going back and seeing that stuff and looking up that, looking up the old things. She was looking up, she goes, oh, well, Mox is a champion now. They were both in the WWE. Did they ever fight in the WWE? Did Punk and him ever fight? So she was looking up that stuff. She's going back in the history and stuff.
See, and my wife is exactly opposite. There is and should be nothing before AEW's foundation. She doesn't like the AEW people coming in. The WWE people coming in. What just happened?
You're here.
No, something happened.
The stream just went black screen.
Yeah, somehow I have. Hold on, I think I see. Remove pin. Somehow Keegan got pinned with Dave. I had to pin to switch to you, but she's basically she didn't like CM Punk for the longest time until he stepped up to MJF because she hates MJF more. So therefore, she started liking CM Punk.
That's funny.
Yeah, no, that's exactly how it went down. But I even I was getting a little worried about how much she was hating on Christian. So I pulled up the old Edge and Christian show where they had Luke Perry on, and Christian was fangirling over Luke Perry, and she's like, I don't care. That's in the past. He shouldn't have said those things. She gets so she's basically a kayfabe fan, and if you don't know what kayfabe is somebody who treats all of wrestling as real. She knows, and she only does our predictions championship by betting on her emotions, how she wants it to go, not what booking would dictate in this business situation or something along those lines. And I try and do it from the exact opposite of that, and generally I win, but that's not the point. The point is that she is the perfect person to watch wrestling with, because she has so much fun getting angry and cheering people and stuff like that. So it's absolutely fantastic. And when they bait her on a near fall that with somebody that she wants to win, and they kick out, she comes unglued at the TV. It is the greatest thing ever. Anyways, I can't recommend it enough. Wrestling is better than most other people's.
It is fun. Harry does the same thing. Like, she gets into it, and like she was so excited when when Swerve got the pin, and so like that was a lot of fun with that. But the other funny thing is she's really picked up on like the flows of the match and like how stuff works. And she was like, oh, they're going to do so they're trying to make you think they want to do this and everything. And she's actually like gotten pretty good at like figuring out like, what's going on, or like, what things. She goes, but like, but this doesn't make sense because they kind of did this and they usually do this. Like, she's picked up on it so quick. And it's just like, well, I was like, but that's kind of the cool thing about AEW. They kind of play with that stuff too. Mm-hmm. So like, they don't always do what you expect, which is a lot of fun.
And Matt, for perspective, I watched WWE and WCW up through like the mid 90s until they consolidated. And then I stopped watching WWE after they acquired ECW because it was really bad formulaic. You could predict everything. It was not fun to watch. And they didn't have any real new superstars coming out of it at the time.
Or competition.
Right, which was a bad thing. So I went to Japanese Pro Wrestling, indie circuit stuff, and that was like getting a master's degree in wrestling, like stuff that you would never have seen in WWE. And I watch AEW every week, and there's at least one time a week where I turn to my wife and I say, I've never seen that before, which is nuts because I've been watching for 30 plus years. And for them to be able to, like, I like this current guy's Swerve that we've been talking about. He moves like no one else in the ring. He has this weird fluid transition for almost every move that he does that kind of actually makes sense in a way for what he's doing. So what's up, Nurse Gloom? Welcome to the stream. Hello there, friend.
Hello there.
But yeah, I would say you start if you want to get somebody into wrestling, start with the more entertainment aspects of it, and then work your way up to the wrestling later. Unless you know it's somebody who really enjoys like MMA or something like that. I don't like MMA because that's people actually hurting each other. I like wrestling because I know at the end of the day they're all friends. They're all trying to make the best match possible to make it look like they're killing each other, but not. And that's actually, in my opinion, harder than just going out there and smacking somebody in the face. And kudos to them for that. And whether you want to focus on that or AEW is an actual smorgasbord of wrestling. There's lots of different styles of wrestling. There's Puro Resto, which is like also called strong style. There's Lucha Libre, which is the flippy dippy do stuff. There is, there's catch can wrestling, which is somebody who will take anything you throw at them and counter it into another hold or a move. There's technical wrestling, submission wrestling. You've got all these different things and then combinations wherein.
Thanks for the show.
AEW is a smorgasbord where they go, oh, here's this style. Oh, here's this style. Here's this style. So it's different every single week in every single match. So you never know exactly what you're going to like. And you might not like it all, but it's kind of like a buffet where you take the parts you like. And generally the overall experience of having the buffet is more enjoyable than if they just force fed you one piece, one recipe of lumpy oats every single time, every single week for 3 hours on a Monday and 2
Like
hours
I
on
still
a
go
Friday.
back. Like I still go back and I watch old ECW stuff.
Yeah.
Because I have like access to it all, and I love that it's all there. And it's basically like this is AEW is basically, and I don't want to diminish like what anybody's doing or anything like that. But it's basically like if ECW had financial backing, this is probably what it would have become.
Yep.
And that's what's cool about it. They like you said, they throw all the different styles in there. They try different things. They let people's personalities come out, and that's a lot of like fun with it. Like you can tell like people are having fun with it. So that's kind of like the biggest thing for me. It's like
have an
you can
awesome
tell when
stream.
people are enjoying it. They put on good shows like every single week. Nobody's just phoning it in. Nobody's like obviously doing something they don't want to do. And it's just I don't know. It's I'm gonna enjoy it as long as it lasts.
Yep. I'm right there with you. And the last wrestling thing, and then we can really move off this. The 25th, they are doing the ROH pay-per-view. Do you want to do live reaction with us?
I don't know. I don't know what my availability is going to be for that.
Okay, so that's not this weekend. It's not next weekend. I think it's the weekend after. And I've got you with the hydrate, Mr. J Nice. Thank you. And Matt, you're more than welcome to join us as well.
Thank you for the invitation. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
Dave, anything else?
God, yeah. I mean, get the games. So, still playing Playdate. Have a little case for it.
Nice.
There's some fun, new game. Like I said, every week there's new games. There's like one I haven't even got to play yet because it's like more like involved. A little puzzle game where you're throwing penguins up and down on a elevator at a hotel kind of thing. And you have to like crank it, back and forth, and it all works. As gimmicky as you might think this thing is, it's actually a lot of fun. I've even sideloaded some things. It's the way they built the thing and the software involved. Like you actually when you sideload stuff, like you buy something and you upload it to your account on your Playdate website, and then it just drops it down on your game that way. You don't hook it up to a computer and put them on there manually. It handles all that for you, and it's actually a very smooth process. Works very well. I know it's a niche thing, and people aren't going to make millions off it, but I'd be curious to see if some developers throw some stuff behind it. I've given some money. There's this one game. It's called A Joke That's Worth 99 cents. And
was it?
I haven't got through it yet. It's tough. So the game, if you want to call it that, is so it shows like a play date, and there's like a little guy that's like falling, and you see like the beginning of the joke, and he keeps falling, and then you realize you have to turn the crank, and the crank turns on screen, and you hit the crank and you pop the guy up. So you got to play like hacky sack with this little guy that's like falling around. So you have to go like back and forth and and if you hit it too hard, he's going to go flying. But then as you're doing that, as you're going through and like scrolling, it starts going through the lines of the joke. And if the guy falls, it starts the joke over again. And it's got this like kind of catchy song playing in the background the whole time. And it's like, it's just such a unique little experience, and it's just cracking me up that I'm like trying to do that, pay attention to the joke and everything. And I don't know. I just love that somebody did something so silly, and I was happy to pay them $1 for it. So, it's fun. On the Switch, I restart. Well, I realized I never played Hollow Knight, and I had it. Yeah.
How?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what happened. I had it. The funny thing is, it's like it's totally downloaded on my PlayStation account. So I think like I meant to start it there, and I just kind of never did. I got sidetracked on something. So I downloaded it on the Switch, and I started playing it there, and I'm like, man, I should have been playing this game a long time ago. So that's really good. But then somebody reminded me that I never finished Metroid Dread. So I was like, okay, let me go back to that. And I tried to jump back in. I'm like, you know something? Let me just restart Metroid Dread because I was really enjoying that. So I restarted Metroid Dread and I'm playing through that. And that's a good game. Like, I'm glad I'm restarting that. And I don't mind restarting that because I get one of these every, 20 years at this point?
Yeah. Yeah.
Was it like 17 years, 18? What was
Something ridiculous like
Maybe
that.
if you turn the crank, it'll go faster.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. But and it's high wrestling, and I didn't realize that John Cena was like begging Nintendo to make a new 2D Metroid. So
Well, I think the hope is now that they've let an external developer build it, we'll see another one sooner because it's not dependent on an internal Nintendo studio to build.
How are they not able to do that? They only have one system now. They consolidated. So there's not, I get it.
They have them all
but
working on Breath of the Wild too.
I know. It's just
A waste of time.
Hey,
What?
dude.
Joe in with the knife to everybody's heart. What the hell, man? That was a creeper. I didn't even see it coming.
I have
Just like crawled into the screen and like, you're all dead.
Sneak attack.
Bad take. That's a bad take.
Just patiently. I'm just hanging out over here, waiting for my moment to strike.
What's up, Min? Thank you for
Have I
perturbing.
shared my other little portables that I got recently?
So small.
See what this is?
Nice to smell.
Yes. This is an actual working little Game Gear. Okay.
Nice.
These were only released in Japan.
It still
These are-
requires 4 AA batteries.
It's one AAA, I believe. No, two AAAs.
2 AAA. See?
Inability.
Two
Said,
AAAs. And
"Hey,
it
it's
lasts
not
5
a
Just
Rick
strap
Roll.
the screen
Last
right
5
onto the
minutes,
AAA
yeah.
batteries.
But I mean, the screen's not big. I mean, here's my thumb. Okay.
I
So-
mean, I'm just going to point this out. You wear glasses. I wear glasses. Why?
progressives at that.
Yeah, why?
So- but because, dude, it's first of all, it's blue. Okay, right. And secondly, this one has Gunstar Heroes. Okay.
But don't you have that on anything else that's larger than a thumbnail screen?
But I do, but technically this is the 8-bit Gunstar Heroes, which I didn't know existed. Like, this is Gunstar Heroes that was made on the Game Gear.
That's so tiny.
It is. And,
I mean, Keegan's head is like 92 times the size of Gunstar Heroes 8-bit there, buddy.
right, but it's yeah, I don't know. So I needed it, and it's it's cool.
Yeah, no, it's cool.
I mean, nothing beats the Thumbie. I showed you this, right?
Yes.
That is very tiny.
This works like that.
Does it? I mean, can you actually tell?
You can. There's totally. Yeah, there's games on here.
There be games on this here beast.
You see him maneuvering his progressive. Thing,
Yeah, you can. It's really.
I
This
fully
one-
expect at some point he'll have on one of these arms, he'll have like a
The-
magnifying glass that's like
the
this
crafting
large,
magnifying
so that he
glass,
can
yeah.
be like, there we go. I can see
Oh,
on my
wow.
tiny thumb drive.
Functioning Tetris right there. That is actually a
Yeah,
Tetris
I
game.
challenge you to play an entire round of Tetris on there, my friend.
I did badly. I
Yes,
did.
that's my point. That's my point.
It's just I don't think I'm going any smaller than that.
Did
that
you
was-
play anything else? We're not gonna get to any news, and that's okay.
Little Animal Crossing still. I'm 3 paintings away from being able to put that damn game down, and it's just toying with me now. It's just playing with my
MRG
emotions. It's like,
said,
I'm not getting it.
Kane's future is to just get a pair
So-
of contacts
so I
that are
don't
the
know.
screen
I
for
check
less
every day.
emulations.
The painting that I need. That's all I want. I just
Dave,
want the
Mr. J Nice says that your future is just to get a pair of contacts that are the screen for NES emulators.
It's not a bad idea.
That'll be on Kickstarter tomorrow.
Yeah, but it's probably going to happen. I've already been on top of that kind of technology where they have like little screens and contacts and stuff. So yeah, as soon as they can jam a Raspberry Pi into that, we're in business.
Anything else that you played?
Wait, I thought there was something. Wait.
Joe.
Oh,
Yes. Hi.
Hi.
it's playing a little Evercade, but we don't need to talk about that now.
Okay. Joe, what have you been up to for the last couple of weeks?
I haven't really been playing too many games. I've mostly been watching all of the TV. Let me go down the list here. Umbrella Academy, finished that. The Boys, finished that. Stranger Things, finished that. First 2 episodes of What We Do in the Shadows, got those done.
That the one guy. I literally had to stop the episode when they introduced that guy.
Doctor, is
And you
there
know what I'm
anything
talking
you can
about,
do
right?
to save
Yeah,
him?
yeah.
I told you I don't
Dying.
need saving, I need to save Peach. As he stares off to the
Yeah,
distance
it's off to a
playing on
strong
his
start.
emulated contacts.
I'm excited to see what they do this season. It's off to a pretty good start
Gamersledge
for sure.
Said it's Dave
What else?
Henderson to the
Did see
podcast
Thor.
with us.
I think we're 2 or 3 episodes into the new Netflix Resident Evil show. Surprisingly good.
That already dropped? That's already there?
No, it's already out.
This week.
Yesterday or the day before yesterday. Or
Yeah,
something.
Ken had played it, or Ken had watched it the night it came out, and also seemed to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better Resident Evil things that's come out TV or media wise here in the past couple of years. It's pretty enjoyable. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems that Wesker is, because I mean it does follow Resident Evil canon, but it doesn't explain how it gets there, at least yet. I'm like I said, I'm only 2 or 3 episodes in, but it takes place now in 2022 and in 2036, and all of the other previous Resident Evil canon is all there. A lot of the internet has problems with the fact that, I mean, I don't think it's a spoiler to say, but Wesker,
Played by
is
Lance
alive.
Riddick.
is alive, and he is not the same color as the video game Wesker, but and so I don't know if it's like I don't know why anyone has a problem with it, because anytime Lance Reddick opens up his mouth, I melt. I mean, I want to make out with his voice. His voice is amazing. Gives me the chip. Anyway, that's a whole other podcast, though. We could talk about that somewhere else. I've also been watching I don't know if you guys remember it or if you guys watched it. I don't know if I've even talked about it before, but the new Iron Chef.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Love the new Iron Chef. What's his face? Alton Brown. Alton Brown quit the Food Network so that he could pursue Iron Chef, and he got the chairman back, and he's got a pretty strong group of chefs. And yeah, what's that? Oh, Netflix.
Okay, cool.
It's 8 episodes. It is, all the chairman stuff is just it is
Chef's
so
Kiss
good.
at the Chef Table on Netflix.
It's peak chairman. It's amazing. I'm also, let's see, I finished watching Ms. Marvel, and I guess it's just me being the contrarian. Not in this group, though, because apparently it sounds like everyone likes it. But the Ms. Marvel is probably one of the best Marvel TV shows, period, hands down. I absolutely what?
The internet hated you saying that so much that it turned you into meatwad.
Where did my video go? Oh man.
I like that Marvel show.
I don't know why. I mean, I fixed my internet, so I don't know why it's all being all weird.
Just like with the meat wad.
You got to do the voice now. So,
oh, guys, the meat wad. I don't know why my video is gone. I can see myself. Hold on. Surface camera. Anyway, I'll keep talking while I'll keep talking while I fix it. Okay, there we go. Maybe not. Anyway, yeah. So Miss Marvel, love it. Strange New Worlds, absolutely adore that. That's been fantastic. And then Only Murders in the Building season 2. We've been watching that. If you guys haven't seen that,
I need it's on the list. I just haven't had time.
We haven't started the new season yet, but the last season was awesome.
Yeah,
I haven't started season 1 even yet. I need to.
Oh,
it's really fun. It
is so good. And I mean, I was a little worried about Selena Gomez and how she'd fit in with Steve Martin and Martin Short being the personalities that they are, but it's amazing how much Steve Martin and Martin Short have tampered themselves so that they're not like peak Martin Short and peak Steve Martin. And they just amazing work. They did. I don't know why they're not nominated for Emmys. I really don't. And then the last thing that I've been watching, I've been doing a lot of Legos, and so that's why I haven't been playing too many games. I finally got some shelving to put up all my Legos, and so yeah, I've got
oh yeah, we can see it behind you.
Can you actually see it?
No.
Oh, okay. And so yeah, and so I've been watching TV while I do Legos at night.
So what have you built?
I ended up, so I've got a bunch of the Star Wars masks. That was I wanted to start easy, and so I started with those, and I think I've got like 6 of them going so far right now. I've what is it? The Dark Trooper,
yeah,
Stormtrooper, Darth Vader, a few of the other ones. I'm not allowed to put together Luke's helmet though. My wife wants to do that one, so that's fine. I'm okay with that.
That Dagobah tonight.
Oh yeah, that's on the list. That's on the list to do.
It's real fun. And I did the land speeder last week.
Oh, very nice.
The big and that's a very satisfying build. Like it looks great when you're done with it, but it's also like nice and solid, like, and like the way they do like the engine and stuff like that, it's just like real neat. Like it was a surprisingly fun build. I thought it would be a little bit like not as great because it's kind of like, it's like, oh, it's just a bunch of like, sandy brown bricks, but it's like, no, it was actually really good.
Very nice. Yeah, I can't wait to get started on some of the more challenging, because I've got like those the Nintendo ones, like the question mark block, and
oh dude, that is
I'm excited.
Yeah, that's like right behind me. That's one of my favorite sets I've ever built.
And then I picked up Optimus Prime a couple of weeks ago, and so I can't wait to get to that one as well.
Yeah, I have it sitting right here. It's really good.
Yeah, and then
show it for everybody.
You got to talk if you're going to do it. Did you just drop it? Did you just drop it?
Oh no!
What happened? Oh no!
It looks like Megatron killed him.
Oh no!
Jeez.
He got cut in half.
Some 7-year-old watching the VOD is screaming right now.
Oh,
you just Lieutenant Dan Optimus.
You got no legs.
French fried Megatron. Deep fried Megatron.
Oh no!
How many pieces is his legs in?
About 4.
Oh man!
Right.
I'm sorry, dude. That sucks. Handle your Optimus carefully.
Lego, you get to rebuild it. That's
that's the fun. But yeah, while I've been doing that, I've been watching Dimension 20. They had a season. It's called Starstruck Odyssey. It's based off of some books that I've never read before, but now I may do that.
Have you watched the season? Have you watched the Misfits of Magic series?
Not yet. I'm going to start on that one next.
It is probably my favorite archived role-playing game of all time.
Oh, nice.
Brandon Lee Mulligan.
He's a master, man. I love his storytelling.
He's a player in it.
Oh, really? Okay.
And I think maybe one of the most genius characters I've ever seen.
Awesome. I saw something that on Dropout TV that he did where he was running a British baking show camp. It was a one shot, and it was so great because he was like, okay, during this campaign you only have three stats: British, baking, and I forget the other one. But great! It was great, British, and baking. Those are your three stats, and there were like different versions of or different scales of great, British, and baking. It was great. And then anyway, so that's what I've been watching. I've been watching lots and lots of stuff. For games, I finally beat Miles Morales. I know I'm on the struggle bus late for that. It's been a really long time. I was just like, oh, you know what? This is just sitting here. I'll play it. I finally finished it. I decided not to platinum it though, because that would mean I'd have to play it again, and I'm not going to do that.
Yep, that's fair.
It's really short if you're just burning through the story again for the platinum though. Miles is actually a really short game. It's really 3.5 hours if you're just going to burn the story.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not doing all the collectibles and stuff like that, it's really quick to get through.
I mean, you're still 100% better than me. I still haven't launched it.
What? Yeah,
you haven't even finished.
Stop right now and go play it.
He can't. It's a single player game, and it would break his honor code, so he can't do it. He hasn't played God of War.
I haven't played God of War either. But so, that's a completely different circumstance. To be fair.
It's a game you own at least 3 different copies of and haven't played any of them.
That is correct. But no, I mean, I had the stories spoiled for me, so I'm
Alex was playing Spider-Man the other day.
Yeah. It's not a case of my motor skills are struggle bus. It's just that I there's so much other stuff to do.
But Spider-Man's more important.
I understand why you think like that because you are Matt's offspring. But in the grand scheme of the Marvel Universe, Spider-Man is so small.
Excuse me.
What percentage of Marvel's monthly sales is Spider-Man?
Much larger than what I said there. But still so small for me.
No. You need to play the game now.
I will get to it eventually.
The original one. I mean, like I say, just burn through the stories of Miles. It is amazing. I mean, I
want to play it. It's not a case of me not wanting to play it.
What else? And then I'm still playing Skyrim. I went and did the Super Ultra Mega thing for PlayStation Plus. They gave me an offer I couldn't refuse to kind of upgrade the 3 or 4 years I have from when I was working at PlayStation, and so I went and upgraded, and so I've been playing a lot of classic stuff. I went back and played Jumping Flash. I did like Matt, and I downloaded Crash. For whatever reason, I was like, oh, Fall Guys. I haven't played that in a while. So I plugged in Fall Guys for a few minutes and played that the other day. I've been messing around on my computer a lot more, and so I've been playing Phasmophobia.
Oh God, Joe, we're gonna have to put together a night.
We should. That would be fun. I can definitely do that. And then there was a Humble Bundle deal not too long ago it was $10, I think. And if you guys have ever played Talisman, they have every single Talisman thing you could download for $10. And that is one of my favorite board games ever. And so I have Talisman and the 800,000 expansions and characters and all that other stuff that goes with it. I finally downloaded all of it off of Steam. I'm just like, holy crap, this is a lot of stuff to take care of. So yeah, I've been playing a little bit of Talisman as well.
PSA, Joe, for
Yes.
your mentality, I don't think you've been on when we've talked about it before, but you need to invest the $20 in Tabletop Simulator.
Oh, already did.
Okay.
It's there.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Great. And you saw all the games that you can get, right?
Yes. There's so much.
It's
so much stuff.
I don't know how they don't get cease and desist. It's amazing.
I really don't either. I mean, I don't know if that just spurs sales of their board games, or I don't know. But yeah, it is very surprising that they don't get cease and. Every time someone's like, "Oh, we should jump on Tabletop Simulator and play Game X," I'm like, "How is it on Tabletop Simulator?"
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love going on there and finding neat little treasures that are on there. So, but that's it. That's all I've got. I've been mostly watching lots and lots of TV. So
okay, so what I've played and watched, first played Hook Up the VR system. It is finally hooked up, and then I realized that I have the wrong graphics card in the VR machine, so I need to find wherever the newer graphics card is, because I think it's got like a 1020 in it, and I've got like a 26 something sitting out over here. I just got to find where I put it and swap that out. And then I need to try and figure out how to run that computer's output to my capture card. And I might try getting another keyboard, a remote keyboard and mouse, and playing Tarkov that way. So that's a production in progress. But I got the VR hooked up, and that's the important part. Also,
Good job.
PlayStation Plus Ultra Kamehameha version. I don't think we talked about upgrading to it. We talked about that it was coming out, but I don't think any of us actually talked about doing it. It's fine. Like, there's a ton of stuff on there if I hadn't played it all, and if I didn't believe in not going back and playing old games again. There's a lot of PS3 games. There's a lot there. I'm interested to see. This seems like it's going to be a good offering for mid-July. I don't know why it's like over halfway through July and we don't have the July games yet, but I'm excited about getting Stray for free. So sure.
We do. We have the list. I had it up for an article if we ever got to doing news, but
yeah.
I'm shocked I haven't upgraded to this thing yet.
Well, I was like, I wasn't sure what they were going to charge me, because I thought I had a couple years pre-purchased, but apparently I only had through the end of this year. And so it offered me $40 for the rest of the year. And I'm like, done. And it's fine. I downloaded most of the games that I could download that I was interested in, but then I haven't touched them because they're old games for the most part. And I don't really have time for that. But yes.
Meanwhile, I put in a purchase for like the 6 Evercade carts that I didn't actually buy yet.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yep. I'm like, why am I doing this?
Yep. What else did I play this week? Star Trek Online. I've kind of come back after my 6 months because there's a bunch of people in the community that were saying, hey, I'd like to play this game and know more. So I've been helping them with that. I had touched DCUO for a hot minute.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Why?
I had raided out into somebody's stream, and that's what they were playing. And they were like, I just started the game after, like, I played it back on the PS3 and I haven't played it since then. And so I was like, well, I can help with that.
I didn't realize it was still active.
Oh, yeah, it's very active, actually. And they went crossplay, I believe. Really? I am now getting feedback, I think, from you, Joe. It is mounting feedback. Very bad.
Marcus Devil made
goes in here twice.
I watch Mrs. Marvel and I have few questions.
Marcus, I'm happy to entertain your question as long as it's not about the last episode, because I haven't seen it yet. So no spoilers, please. If that's what it contains, just FYI. But otherwise, please feel free to ask. I also got wicked back into Star Trek Next Generation Pinball. I had been having a itch to play it for a while. Yeah, I still consider it to be the best table ever made. And I found out that there is no way to purchase it anywhere except
Marcus
iPhone.
Devil May Cry said,
Luckily,
I
I
can't say
had
no.
it. I had it on the PS4 placed pinball arcade, and so I went back in and restored all my purchases, and actually it's there. Even though you can't buy it anymore, it's there. So thank God I had done that, because it's no longer for purchase on that storefront either. So that's close enough. It's big enough that I can actually play it on my TV and see it. So that's good. I recently cleared a 2 billion points round the other day, so I was pretty happy with that.
Nice.
That game, I still think that's one of the best of design tables ever. Escape from Tarkov. Last wipe when I bought the game in
Game
November
Trickster Pizza Time
until
said, hey. Game Trickster
June.
Pizza Time
It
said,
took me
how are you doing?
almost 6-7 months to reach level 15, which is where you can access the auction house, if you will. It's called the flea market in that game. I am
Fatality.
2 weeks into this wipe, and I'm almost level 15 already. So we've been burning through it. It's been super sweaty, but man, that game is so fun. But it is also one of the most infuriating games I've ever played. I just had a day yesterday where every time I loaded in, I got shot in the head, didn't see where from, and that didn't matter if it was PMC or scav. I just basically spent, 5 minutes loading into a map to die within the first 30 seconds. And that trend continued today as I tried to do one scav run. So, hooray, Tarkov. What's up, Game Trickster Pizza Time? Welcome to the stream. Hello, friend. And also, hello there, Marcus. I appreciate you. Thank you for not spoiling. I appreciate that very much. Also been playing Fork Knife. I'm enjoying the way the season is kind of shaping up, but it's not the strongest season in my opinion. I'm enjoying it, but I'm only playing it once a week, which is kind of unusual for me. And then we played Deadlands, our Thursday tabletop role-playing game. Watched AEW. We already talked about that.
Said, just playing The Sims.
Kids in the Hall remake. I got halfway through it.
Game Trickster
The very
Pizza Time
first
said,
episode
enjoying it.
Lets you know that they're
Neo Sapien said,
literally going to
nice.
go balls to the walls with this. Literally. I was laughing quite a bit, and then I hit episode 3, and episode 3 is probably one of the darkest things that I've seen in a long, long time. And that was, if anything, it showed me that they have not lost a step in however many years it's been, 25 years, in how to craft something that is both funny and amazingly dark. I'm really looking forward to finishing the rest of it out. It is weird to see them all old now, because in my memory, they're all still young from having watched it so much. But it is very good. Kids in the Hall remake. I watched all of DBZ Super somehow. So that's done.
Wow.
I had never watched it, believe it or not. I had only kind of like caught snippets of updates from the internet, enough to know what was going on in the story. So I went back and I watched it all, and I really think it's pretty good. It's not, it doesn't fall into a lot of the older DBZ trappings where, you have an entire episode that's half recap and half charging up to do something. None of that here. It moves pretty briskly, and I like the premise is kind of dumb, but
it's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, but at the end, it is a little bit better, I guess, when the good guys win, and it's kind of explained. Ms. Marvel, I love it, but I'm an episode behind. And my only addition to the conversation we've had for it is this is truly the first series that actually feels like a street level character. And I think that's one of the things that really sets it apart. It's not Jessica Jones or Luke Cage street level, because I'd counter that's even bigger. This is a defined small neighborhood level character at best, and there's nothing wrong with that. So I'm really digging it a lot. I really want to watch the final one and see where it leads to. We finished MasterChef season 11, and we are now on the current season, which is season 12, which is a super compelling watch because it's all the people who they're taking people who didn't win the previous seasons and have actually gone on to realize their food dreams and bringing them back. So instead of being amateur home cooks, they're all professional level chefs competing for the first time in the kitchen. That's been a really engaging watch. We've had a lot of good times with it so far. And they have everybody from season 1 to season 11 trying out, so it's kind of interesting. We just finished the top 20. They only give out 20 aprons at the beginning. We just finished that section of it, so now it's on to the actual cooking. Finished Umbrella Academy 3 as well. What's the Scottish actor's name? That is the brother that's immortal.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
What's his name? I can't remember.
The character or the actor?
The actor.
I don't know his name off the top of my
He
head.
needs to be in so much more stuff. I mean,
they really Klaus really got to shine this season.
This was really Klaus. I mean, oh my God, that whole episode, just I was dying.
Roadkill catch.
Yeah, exactly.
I will say this for the season. There were several times where I was laughing out loud. Most of them were probably in that episode, but
Yeah.
it did have its beats.
It did. And then The Boys, just season 3 finished that off. Holy bloody hell. I mean, so good. I think it's probably, I don't think it's hyperbole to say it's the best superhero thing that's ever been made. I think it is, legitimately. I mean, yes, I know Joe's shaking his head at me.
Disagree.
Yeah, I know.
Strongly disagree.
I mean,
But I get why you say that, and I understand that I'm in the minority there. I get with a lot of things,
and I get your viewpoint. I get your side of it too.
Like, oh my God, so
I mean, I wouldn't put it higher than Endgame and Infinity War, but I mean, I almost feel like this is the Shield with superheroes, and it's got that same kind of drama level to it where you never know what's going to happen next and how can the stakes get worse. And the Shield eventually fell apart. I hope to God that doesn't happen here. They've already shown more thoughtful writing for this than the author of the comic books ever did, I think. So I'm totally fine with whatever they do here. But yes, and that's it for me. We talked other than one other thing, and that is this guy right here. Oh, I'm gonna
Oh,
Is
nice,
that the popcorn?
nice.
Is that the popcorn bucket?
It is the popcorn bucket, which has never had popcorn in it. But let me tell
Will
you,
it ever have popcorn in it?
let me tell you, when I used to go to Alamo Draft House, Rhino and their stupid pins and whatever, and you know whatever the accoutrement they were selling at the theater for that time, you were like, oh, this is so kitsch. Nobody's gonna have this stuff. Nobody has this stuff because it sells out instantly at all the theaters. And I swear to God, they're getting me for $30 to $50 every time I go to see a movie now. It's ridiculous. This is amazing. It is an actual metal freaking Mjolnir. The only thing I wish is that it came out of the rock, which it did not. And to assemble it, I legitimately had to jam this stick into a hole in the top of it so hard I thought I was going to break the whole damn thing. But once it's in there and it's good. But you can see it clears about, I don't know, a couple inches past the whole opening. But yeah, it's actually really solid. It's really well built. It looks freaking this die cut with the glowing metal is just amazingly done. And the fact when I said it with the LED lights back there, it like shimmers across the wall. It's freaking great, man. It's like definitely worth it. I will say that this is probably better than the movie.
Aw.
I mean, the movie is a great popcorn summer blockbuster flick.
Well, at least you have the popcorn bucket to eat the popcorn.
Exactly. Well, I would never put popcorn in that, but yes, I enjoyed it. There were some very head scratching moments. There were, and I'm trying to keep this completely spoiler free. There were characters that were horribly mismanaged, in my opinion. And I think the worst part for me is that the main character we had at the beginning of the movie in real no way, shape, or form evolved to the person from the end of the movie. And that's probably where I think they did the greatest disservice to it. Now, does that mean that I hated the movie? Not at all. I thought the movie was a whole hell of a lot of fun. And I thought there were some really good story beats. I thought everything they did with Jane was amazing, and had weight. And I thought that those freaking goats were hilarious. But beyond that, I mean, I thought that Gore was probably the best developed character in the entire movie.
People were so mad at the goats.
I don't know why. It's hilarious.
I loved it.
And
I felt like, so like for me, I walked out of the movie and I was like, I think I liked it, but it felt like I got like super high before I went to go see the movie, and like the high kicked in, sucked out, and I'm like, man, I don't remember a lot of, I mean, like how we got from point A to point B, and then the end of the movie, I'm just like, I think I remember everything, but I don't remember why or how. I don't know. It just felt like very uneven. It was like after the movie, Taika was going to go do a stand-up routine, and he was trying out all of his bits in this movie. Like, he was like, what if I had Thor do this, or if I had, Jane say this? That would be funny, right? And it was just like a bunch of stuff he was throwing at the wall to see what would work, and then and then that's what you get. Yeah,
I didn't mind the humor so much. I think it was a little bit overdone, but I don't think it was egregious. I think that was just the tone of the movie, which is fine. I mean, they kind of decided they were going that route with Ragnarok, and I'm a huge fan of the first Thor movie, which I know I'm in the minority for that, but that was total space opera. Star Wars in space, but with Vikings. And I absolutely loved that. I wasn't sure I was going to like the
episode still vibe out of the first movie, and I always liked it because of that.
Prophet Profanity.
Yeah.
Said you.
What's up, Prophet Profanity? Welcome to the stream. Hello there, friend.
Hello there.
But yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I just didn't feel like, I felt like everyone else had the character growth except Thor.
It was almost like it was kind of like a setup for Thor.
A bit, and I'm not sure. The one character that I wanted to see have some closure and some character development didn't get any, and that was really frustrating to me.
Oh my God, clip that.
So that's where I should probably leave that until we do the spoiler cast review.
There's one thing that I need to say, and there was too much of anything in this movie. It was too much GNR.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
400% too much GNR.
Yeah, there was a lot of GNR, and I love GNR. I love Guns N' Roses, and there was too much Guns N' Roses in this movie. I remember literally thinking that, Matt, in the theater. I'm like, man, I love Guns N' Roses, but pick another person, man.
And then they relegated Rainbow in the Dark by Dio to the credits.
Yeah.
Come
No,
on.
I
Yeah,
know.
they Kate Bushed the GNR.
They did. But that's the other thing I will say is super strong. Cinematography and special effects, for the most part, were really strong. Really strong. And I mean, he was in the trailer, so it's not a spoiler. Russell Crowe as Zeus. Yes, please give me more of that.
Well, I guess I can't.
Yeah, all day, every day. Yeah, you can't say anything, but yeah, I'll take that all day, every day. So,
I did think it was funny that apparently he had to film all of his scenes twice.
oh, I didn't hear that. Why?
Yeah, because
So he had to
what
film all
TV
the
couldn't
scenes
figure
twice
out.
because he did it with 2 different accents and he didn't know which one he liked better.
That's hilarious.
So apparently there's a whole other series of
That's the
different
most
accents.
Russell Crowe thing I've ever heard in my life. That's amazing.
So I'm really curious as to what the other one sounded like.
I like the one they got. I mean,
Yeah.
the one we got.
Oh yeah, they nailed it.
Great. It was.
But yeah, I mean, if I was gonna rate it, I'd probably give it I had probably scored it a little higher when I came out, but the more I've reflected on it, it's gone down just a little bit. I'd probably give it like a 7.75 out of 10. It's not, it's a good movie. You're not going to feel like you wasted your time to go see it. But kind of like Joe said, a lot of it's popcorn fluff. And it's, a lot of it doesn't necessarily even make sense. Especially, I'm not going to, Anyways, until we get the spoiler, I can't say much about certain characters. But I'd say that's where I'd score it. Where did it fall for you guys?
I was thinking about 7.
You like my wet hole?
Yeah,
I mean, it wasn't. I didn't think it was as bad as like. I mean, I enjoyed the first Thor. The second Thor, not so much. It was fine. Dark World, or what was the third one?
Ragnarok.
Third was Ragnarok.
Hulk or whatever. Yeah, Ragnarok was great. That's probably my favorite of the Thor movies. I would put this below that, and then the other 2 were below that. I mean, I'd probably give it a solid 6.5, maybe a 7 on a good day. Depends on how I feel. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm in the same range as Joe. I'm kind of on when I'm feeling a bit more cranky about it, it probably drops down to like a 6.5, and if I'm feeling more generous, it pops up to like a 7.
Oh, don't worry, I know what you're cranky about, and I wholeheartedly agree. I mean, why even be in the movie? But we can't go much further than that.
Yeah.
Jeez. That's it. I think that's all we got time for. We've already gone over. We don't have time for anything else. No time for
no news today.
Real news. There wasn't that much that happened, anyways.
Yeah.
What was it? The Bungie thing went through today?
Yeah.
So Bungie and Haven are both now officially PlayStation Studios. Dave fixed Optimus Prime.
He's back.
After the
Yay!
series.
Oh, that looks great too. I can't wait. I'm
Now he
excited
just
for
has to
that.
get the Matrix of Leadership back from Rodimus Prime.
I remember that movie.
See, he saw that. I
See,
didn't complain.
what the
you
hell? I
showed
mean,
him
you
that.
got that one. How did you not show him the Matrix after that? Come on, man.
There it is.
Nice.
Yeah, the only other thing I had really up to talk about was the PlayStation Stars thing, and mostly that's just I still don't really understand what the heck they're trying to accomplish there, other than to replace the thing where you could turn your trophies in for credit way back when that they canceled and said they were going to do a follow-on product and then never did a follow-on product. I'm guessing this is the follow-on product.
I'm
but-
guessing Sony doesn't know yet.
Yeah. Well,
Would be
I
my-
guess Xbox has a program like this, which I was completely unaware of until people started talking about it. So
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's what it's aiming for. I know a lot of people are kind of ripping on it because, be the first to platinum a game in your time zone or something like that, and there's a lot of questions there with pre-releases, review copies of games and stuff too. So, but yeah.
So that brings us to the part of the show where we like to thank everybody individually for helping support the show. I need to and just a quick update on that. We finally did get paid from the subathon So, and I already did order the DSLR, so I will be adding the remaining
Oh, it's not a
funding amount.
DSLR.
Mirrorless camera,
Yeah, there you go.
same difference.
Totally different.
I know, but whatever. Anyways, it's coming. It's coming at the end of this month, beginning of next month. So we'll be able to do it. It'll be a little tight because it's still stupid expensive, but you guys with the subathon helped get us there. So thank you for that. So yes, that's the quick update. As always, thank you to everybody that came through and followed, subscribed, cheered. You guys are all rock stars, interacted, lurked. I appreciate everybody for coming out. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and of course the bell icon. Be notified whenever we upload new content, which is at daily. bit.ly/mechanicsgl is how you can support the show beyond Twitch itself. And just like the fine folks scrolling across the screen, our boss, Patreon, Twitch, and Mechanics producers, Mr. J Nice ×2, Axe Thompson, Nomishly Lexi, Shank the Noob, Mark Stedmom, Tim Paget, Drogadan, Twisted Ginger 25, Wolf's Gun, Nafam Official, Kokeshi Ken Media, Lost Harlequin, the official egg roll, and of course Neo Sapien, as well as our other producers, regular producers as well, including DMS Creations, Peter Cajero, Billy Frog, Dance Commander Ramey Becker, Arturo Gonzalez, Bushman, Inuyu Wolf, Jimmy Julius, Mark Johnson, Eric the Amazing Luna, John O'Callahan, June Kuribayashi, John Hewlett, 2 times Academy Award nominee and works at Epic now, Patrick Tubach, Letty the Yeti, USMG Valorfall, Tracy Fuller, Dave Butler, Michael Sims, Mark Huey, Nick Neville, Kevin Rollins, that kid named D, ID Nippleduck, Dark Razored, and of course our other producers, Trial Access, Rush Monk, Bearden, The Bakery Crew Ken, Strong Bad Merc, Ghost Zero, Scotty's on Fire, Rusty Haggis, No Novocaine, Dave 934, Jimmy Julius apparently in there twice, TJ Leclerc, Meep the Bunny, The Shaky Dragon, Family Bloom, Mafia 6869, Hey Matt Man, Slowbake, AK Yuri, Bourgeois, Jag Leisure, Sleep Deprived, DMDM Studios, Habitual Kiwi, Bigman Rosa, URCEO, Chocobobot, The Golden Hash Brown, Straw Bee, Sir Ironblood, and last screen, Jersey the King, Luigi Cat Woodhouse, Band Reaper 97, Kato.jpg, Siuni Do TTV, Nautico Love 123, Bosch 721, The Tunics, Awesome Jen, Prophet Profanity, Evelyn 03, Habitual Kiwi, Chupa Thingy 163, G Boys, Ninja Jija 07, Cryo the Adventurer, and Forever Sammy. Thank you. We could not do what we do without you. Appreciate every single one of you. And everybody that comes and hangs out and chats with us. We appreciate you guys just as much. Because without you, there is nothing that we can do that makes any difference. Nihilism at its best. That's going to bring us to final thoughts. This is part of the show where we tell you our final thoughts. Something to get you interested in, something to think about. And then we'll end the show with a sage piece of advice.
Nice.
Let's start with Keegan. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. It's time for me to binge through. Gosh, the name of the show just exited my brain as it tried to exit my mouth. The superhero show that just came out. Not The Boys. The Marvel one.
Ms. Marvel?
Yes, Miss Marvel. Time to watch through all of that before next time, so I'll be ready for that.
Nice.
Yeah, and looking forward to a couple of the anime that are coming out this summer season.
Nice. Joe, how about you?
Joe.
He's frozen.
Staring at the screen.
Oh, he's a black screen.
I don't think he's
for me.
frozen. He's wiggling. Oh, no.
But he's just there, like there.
I think he dropped again.
Yeah.
Well, we'll come back to him. Dave, how about you? Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I bought what I thought was like the most ridiculous thing I've ever bought today. So I was, Instagram popped up and the Nine Inch Nails, account said new merch in the store. So I went to go check it out. And because I was like, oh, I need to get Alex a new shirt because he outgrew his last one. They had a big Nine Inch Nails beach towel. And I'm glad I bought it because it was sold out like an hour later. But I just think it's hilarious that on vacation I'm going to have a Nine Inch Nails giant beach towel.
Fair.
There's nothing like drying yourself off with 9 Inch Nails.
So I just I don't know. It just seems ridiculous to me, but at the same time, I'm like, that's awesome. The other thing that was funny was the downward spiral umbrella, which maybe you'd want, Mark, because it rains so much there.
Listen, you joke, but yesterday we had a flash storm.
Really?
It came out of nowhere and with 30-mile-an-hour winds. So it was one of those what do you call it when it's completely sunny out and it starts pouring rain?
A rain shower.
No, like a sun shower. It was a sun shower.
Marcus Devil May
and
Cry
then it started lightning.
Said,
and
okay, I have a question about casting rumor for Marvel.
Oh my God, it was horrible.
Char Baby BTS.
Thank you,
said,
Char Baby.
Got you tabbed less than 3.
But yeah, I'm sorry. Go.
I'll be back.
Joe, are you back?
Don't see him.
Joe's not here.
All right. So Joe's final thought is don't get sucked into the void. Got it.
Joe went bye-bye, Egon.
And Joe go down the hole.
Oh dear.
Matt, final thoughts.
He's back.
Oh, is he back?
Oh, hey.
Joe, are you back?
He's connecting to audio. He's connected to audio.
Criminy.
There
Yeah,
he
I'm
is.
here. There I am.
Hey, there we go.
He's back.
I had said that your final thought was don't get sucked into the void, but you're back. So
I'm back
congratulations. What's your final thought for this week?
My final thought is if you got money to burn, I just noticed that Limited Run Games has I don't know if you guys ever played it, the old Blade Runner game back in the day for PC from Westwood Studios.
Yep.
They have a really cool I guess they're re-releasing it, for consoles. So if you're into point and click games and stuff like that, it's probably going to hit I think it's going to hit consoles at the end of either this month or September. But if you're into physical media, which you all should be, because you need to preserve physical media, go buy a copy of it from Limited Run. And then if you like the Kitty Cat game that's coming out for free, you can spend $34 and go to iam8bit.com and buy a copy of the Kitty Cat game for $34.99. There you go. Oh, and there's Thor Hammer again. Or no, that's what are you looking at? What is that?
And if you spend $200 for the God of War special edition,
you
get no disc.
Yes, which I did that same thing for Horizon, where I spent $200 on that big giant collector's edition, and I love it, but I am so angry I don't have a disc. I have a nice steelbook case though for it, so I don't know what that's for.
I'm so confused at that.
It's for the version that you go buy off Amazon or something. That's what you do. I mean, when it gets cheap, you just go buy a physical copy and you throw it in the steel case.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a bad idea, I guess. But yeah. Anyway, so that's my sage advice or wisdom or whatever.
Matt, final thoughts?
This is a kind of a PSA, but PlayStation and Western Digital partnered to put out an official PlayStation branded version of the WD Black SN850, which is the SSD that Mark Cerny recommended and the one that I bought and put into my PlayStation 5. However, it, for no reason other than it comes in a box that says PlayStation on it, is way more expensive than if you just go find a WD Black SN850 pretty much anywhere. So they're not super hard to find. They're pretty easy to find. So just, before you go, I get it for people that can't or don't or have a hard time following tech or products. They'll it's reaffirming to them. It comes in a box that says PlayStation on it, right? So I get that. If you're into buying the security with that, so be it. I can't tell you no, but it's the exact same product with one change. Apparently there's a light on it. I never knew this because my PlayStation was off when I put it in, and then you cover it up. But apparently there's a light on it. And on the stock SN850, it's orange. And on the PlayStation packaged version, it's blue. Mind you, you will never see this light unless you leave the side panels and the SSD door open on your PlayStation.
Nice.
Oh, brother.
So yeah, but so just be smart. If you're getting an NSN 850 with the heat sinks on it, you're good to go. You don't need the PlayStation 1. It's the exact same specs.
And by the way, I feel like this needs to be said, but for those of you who are running out of room and are afraid to open up your PlayStation, just like you were afraid to open up your PlayStation 4 and your PlayStation 3 to put in a hard drive, they have made it so gosh darn easy to put these things into the PlayStation. It's so stupidly easy.
The hardest part is getting the side panel off, right? I mean,
yes,
that's the only part.
It's literally the hardest part of it. Yeah. You see exactly where it goes. As soon as you open up the thing, you're like, that's where it goes. And then you put it in and you're done. It's over. It's no problem. Don't be afraid of technology, kids. Ooh.
Now, here's the annoying thing, because the last time when I got with the PlayStation 4, I just did it right away.
Mm-hmm.
So, if I'm already loaded up on the thing, and then
it's a supplementary drive. It's a supplementary drive. So the built-in drive is soldered to the board. You can't replace it.
Oh, so you can just throw a whole nother SSD in there.
Right.
Yep.
It's an extra SSD slot.
And the speed is comparable. I've noticed zero difference playing a game on the soldered on versus the expansion slot.
That I did not know.
Yeah. It is truly an expansion. It is not a...
Yeah, because it treats all of the memory for your all your PS5 memory as PS5 memory. It doesn't say SSD memory.
There is actually, if you go to the storage management, it is actually different because you can move between the internal storage and.
Okay, I thought that was my external hard, because I've got an external and.
No, that only holds PS4 content, which is also listed differently. But if you go to your end of your whatever that bar is called, where you see all your games, it's not split there. There, it's internal and external because that's internal versus basically your external for your PS4 games, right? Or other products. So yeah.
All right. Well, my final thought is a little bit lengthy, but I'll try and abridge it. My mom was here in Vegas a couple months ago, and we went to Major Domo International Meat and Seafood, which is a David Chang restaurant. Probably the best meal I've ever had in my life. It was very expensive. Not actually the most expensive meal I've ever had, but it was very, very good. Literally the best fish I've ever had in my life, and also the best pork chop I've ever had in my life. The pork chop had to have come off 1,000-pound hog. I am not joking. It was enough for 2 people for 2 days.
Wow.
No shot. But it was so good. It was amazing. Anyways, it closed down right after we ate at it because it's a casualty of COVID. Just not enough people coming in. Luckily, the person that I knew there got another job at another restaurant immediately because he was the head of house at a fine dining establishment in Vegas. So they need those all the time here. So that's good. But the wife and I decided what we're going to do for our anniversary is we're going to Roy Choi's restaurant that is here also on the Strip, which is called Best Friend. Oh. And if you've never seen this, it's a California bodega. Legitimately, it's a bodega when you go in the front of it. And there's a secret door that you go through to get to the restaurant. But you can buy anything in the bodega and take it with you and just pay for it. So that's kind of crazy. And it's also a weird menu in that they said they wanted to make it so that somebody could come in and buy a $4 bologna and cheese sandwich, or they could have like a $45 high-end plate. And so it's like this mixture of different priced Korean barbecue and stuff. So anyways, that's what we're going to do, because it sounds really interesting. And they apparently poured like millions of dollars into it to make this bodega / restaurant. And when you're in the restaurant, you can actually see them cooking the food. So that's kind of cool. And you can see out into the bodega. So it's kind of like an interesting little thing. And we, surprisingly, because we booked 3 months in advance or 2 months in advance, we got reservations. So that's good. So that's what I'm doing. It's a foodie last thought for this week. I'm super excited about it.
Hey, Mark. Not to like poo on your last thought or whatever, but being in Vegas.
On your platter.
Yeah, poo on your platter. I only learned about this thing because a friend went there and he put a bunch of pictures up on the internet. Have you been to that thing, the grocery store that's not a grocery store, and you could spend like 5 or 6 hours in there?
Yeah. I've not been to it yet. I have I have a couple friends who are coming out in August, and we are going to it then. You have to book the tickets in advance. You cannot just go there and show up, because the line is out the door. I've been to where it is multiple times. That's how I know that.
Gotcha.
Because it's in a place called Area 15, which I don't know why it's not called Area 51, but it's this giant warehouse that has a bunch of different things in it, is the short way to say that. And one of them is Omega Mart.
Omega Mart, that's what it's
and though if you've never seen the commercials for it on YouTube, they're amazing. They are amazing. If you like any kind of sci-fi stuff, Omega Mart, you need to watch this. It is a supermarket that is not a supermarket. And that was the perfect description, Joe, because I was like, I have no idea what you're going to talk about. And then, I got it. But the reason that we went there is they have a outside bar. Well, it's inside the thing, but it's outside inside. That is all LED trees. Cool. And it's very beautiful. But then they also have a brewery that has axe throwing in there as well, which is kind of cool. But they also had the interactive Van Gogh exhibit, which if you didn't get to see was amazing. So we went there for that, and we've been.
I think that's actually here in town now.
If you haven't done it, it's well worth the price. It's absolutely beautiful.
Cool.
Very cool. No, and you're not poo-pooing on anything. Okay, that brings us to our final thought. Sage piece of wisdom that will carry you forward to the next time we meet. And of course, that is now a 1,000 point redeem on mechanics to get one whenever you want, because I bought a book just for it. I saw this at Amazon, and I'm like, well, that's coming home with me. And I will say, these are of varying dad quality. I found a couple that I don't like, but the majority of them are pretty good.
They're stepdad jokes, the bad ones.
Yeah.
Oh, God. We're not even there yet.
All right. So, Dave.
No.
Yes. Dave. Why are penguin parties always so awkward?
He's shut down. I think his computer froze.
No.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Dave, why are penguin parties so awkward?
Because they do that weird thing where they steal each other's eggs.
No. It's because they can never break the ice.
I was going to go with because they always all show up wearing the same thing, but
that's good too. I like that.
Yeah, that's not bad too.
I actually like that answer better. Can we change it?
We'll go with that one.
No, we can't change
go
it.
with that one.
Yeah, in your minds. We're gonna find somebody to rate out too. So give me just 1 second. I'm looking at all the folks that are on right now. I think we're going to have to raid a Maliboy. Just standard disclaimer, Maliboy is an 18 plus community. He does run a cult. So not really, but they call his community a cult, which I think is funny. So it's one of the reasons I like Milo. But he's playing some Apex Legends. So we don't have a raid announcement. So when you get in there, just show him some emote love if you would. Check him out. If you like him, give him a follow. He's a good dude. I enjoy him very much. But we're going to raid out to him. We'll be back tomorrow on Kokeshi Ken Media's channel at noon Pacific, 2 Central, 3 Eastern for AEW Rampage live reviews, reaction reviews, and then back here on Sunday at 2 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern for Streamer Tech Support Sunday. So hope to see all of you there. Until then, be excellent to each other. And of course, game on.
Game on.